Hello everybody out there in YouTube land. This is Good Times for All, or Zachary Zabala if you prefer. In this video we'll be asking the question, is the earth flatter than a pancake? We will start out by looking at the state of Kansas and observations made when comparing it to a pancake. Scientists used a confocal laser microscope to map the topography of an IHOP flapjack and determine that the state of Kansas really is flatter than a pancake. As you can see, they aren't saying there are pancakes out there larger than the hills you will find when visiting Kansas, but that when scaled to the same apparent size, the mountains and valleys of the pancake are far more noticeable and distinct. So now we will do what they did with the topography of Kansas and apply it to the Earth's dimensions we are given. Now we are told the circumference around the poles is roughly 50 miles shorter due to Earth's oblate sphere shape, and I have found different distances from different sources, so we will take an average and call it 24,860 miles. Now I am not saying these distances are accurate, but since we cannot explore the North or South Pole freely, we will use these arbitrary figures we have been given. We will first start by taking the Earth's polar circumference and break it down to feet. We can figure this out with a simple conversion calculator. When we convert miles to feet, we get 131,208,000 feet from the South Pole to the South Pole. This will be our base number, as it will be equal to 1 foot in total length to compare with a 1 foot pancake. With this number, we can take the tallest peak above sea level, which is Mount Everest, and find its size in relation to a 1 foot wide Earth. We will take the height of its tallest peak, 29,029 feet to 29,035 feet, depending on who you ask, and divide it by our base number to find its relation in size when scaling it down. When dividing 29,035 feet by 131,208,000 feet, we get 0.0002 or 2/10,000ths of a foot, which becomes 0.0026 or 3/1000ths of an inch. I know it's a bit confusing when using these very small numbers to get a good idea of just how small we are talking about. Would you be surprised to learn that a 1 foot diameter Earth would make the peak of Mount Everest less than the width of a single human hair? 100 miles up, further than any amateur anything has ever gone, would only be 0.04 or 4/100ths of an inch, which is still a hard number to imagine. Instead, let's take a look at 3,000 miles, a huge distance that most haven't traversed away from their birthplace. This would only be 1.45 inches, or just under an inch and a half. Now let's take a look at what this would look like in reality, scaled down to size. I have two 12-inch pizza trays, some foam blocks, and a human hair less than 3/4 of an inch long. The hair would represent the whole of the Himalayan mountain range, with the peak being shorter than the height of the hair from the surface. Negligible at best. The foam blocks represent 3,000 miles up from the surface. Take a look at this side view and tell me it doesn't look flat. So even with all the mountains, hills, valleys, and cliffs, When scaled to the size of a 1-foot pancake, the Earth looks pretty flat to me. This is Good Times for All here signing out. As always, thanks for watching.